Hey, so tonight I thought I would do a little video surrounding the power of beauty, of colours, of seeing beauty, of feeling beauty, witnessing it, connecting to it, becoming of it, realizing that is like a connection to such high frequency vibes. It's ridiculous. It holds such a beautiful state of being to be in, and it's been coming up a lot again for me recently. So like the colour yellow, which I decided to wear tonight because I've been thinking a lot about Raphael, the yellow angel, the angel of beauty. One of the first three, the primary colours. Today I was thinking of all the different games we play associated with colours, and I guess we take it for granted of the meanings and what's surrounding us constantly with all the colour around us and the power of the energy that comes off it. So today I was thinking about pool balls, the game pool, and yellow, yellow is 1 and 9. And pretty powerful numbers as well. And I was also thinking of other games that we play that involve circles, colours, slices of pie. I was thinking of Trivial Pursuit, and how each colour represents a particular subject. And you get your slice of pie as you go around the circle, and once you get all your little one of each colour, you go into the middle, and you answer that question correct, you win the game. Kind of very much like putting the puzzle pieces together of ourselves, our chakras, in order to get carry enough wisdom, healing within ourselves, because these questions is not just knowledge, it's wisdom. So that's healing and knowing, you know what I mean? So it is a heart brain, it's a wisdom heart brain, not just knowledge. It's bodily wisdom, experience wisdom, and if you gain enough energy in each of your colours, you kind of, as you go around the board of life, the game of life, you collect all these wisdoms, all your different colours, and each chakra point does have an energy surrounding that. It does have a theme, it does have certain necessary wisdoms to be gained, things to be healed, type thing, in order to win the game of life. And that's why I guess it's important to have a diverse lifestyle, a diverse understanding of the world, to be open-minded to the grander picture of what we're doing here. Not focusing on just one thing constantly, the same old routine every day or whatever. Or, just focusing on like mind-based pursuits, or just physical, pursuits, or even just purely spiritual pursuits, because it's only, that's not actually activating your entire system, you know what I mean? And that's why there's probably no need to say it, but I guess I'm just kind of pointing out that a diverse wisdom's gained gets you to the middle of the board, and that's kind of when you go up to the next level. You're able to play the next game, the next part of the game, which is a whole nother set of freaking pie pieces. Which I was thinking about today as well. So it's like, if you win that game, you get all your pieces, and you win that Trivial Pursuit game, you get all your pie pieces, kind of thing. That's when you have that awakening. You get, you get the downloads, you get the DNA activations, the knowledge released, unlocked. You unlock yourself. You go up a level of self-understanding, like you gain more access to the higher you, the higher realms. So we do have levels to ourselves, and it's mind-boggling actually when you you go up a level, and it's just like your level of understanding of things, yourself, everyone around you type thing, it just radically expands. And that's kind of like what this like all of a sudden awakening download kind of feels like when you win that game of Trivial Pursuit, when you kind of finish that level. It's like you become a new you, because there's just more of you, to more wisdom, more understanding, more access to further wisdom. And you didn't have that access until you got to that point. And I guess that's why people think that like it feels like a download, like you've just been given this knowledge, but really it's like you've broken through a level of yourself. And that's what it's more like you have completed that puzzle level of you, and you're on to the next puzzle level of you. And speaking of views, like it is just a greater view, a greater understanding, a greater viewpoint, a higher viewpoint, a broader viewpoint of everything, while still being you. And it's you that's unlocking that. And so we unlock these next stages of consciousness growth, of energetic growth. It's all linked, you know what I mean? But as you go through these development stages, it's consciousness development. And we have these stages throughout our life. People talk about, when you're about 7 years old, and then, early teens, and then late teens, and then it's like this all of a sudden greater understanding. And, especially if you've had enough, like a rounded education enough, you do go up levels. And we don't stop doing that. We don't have to stop doing that. I've talked about that a little bit before. Age actually has no relevance in this conscious development. Early childhood, obviously, there's developmental stages of the brain developing, but once your brain's developed, it's not like you stop growing. It's just about what effort you put into it. So we can continually go up stages as we develop ourselves, as we round ourselves off or rub ourselves down, whichever way you want to look at it. But it's either peeling layers of the onion off, or climbing the ladder to the next level, or completing each level puzzle and getting access to the next level. So sticking to that kind of metaphor of each level of you, each level of development of you is like a puzzle of you that you have to round out, complete enough in order to get access to the next stage. And each individual, I think, is, it's a little bit different, but, basically you have to, have a... It doesn't just happen, you know what I mean? Like you really have to have an understanding of, it's like each level is like a dimension of thought patterning, of understanding the world, of understanding yourself, your place in the world, how we kind of get along, how we work, the whys and hows of things. And your emotional regulation and understanding of your own triggers and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm just and then taking that to the next step and delving further into it, to want to delve into it further. Because I think at any point, it's like personal choice. It won't happen unless you're looking to delve further. I think that's kind of a side point that they just kind of, so if you're this type of person that is a bit of a puzzle head, like a life puzzle solver, and like you love solving puzzles, the puzzle of you and the puzzle of life, and I was just, the thought popped into my head. I was just thinking, like, every time I've ever got like high or anything, it's like I just automatically go to thinking about solving the world's problems, like relationship issues, blah, blah, blah. I am that way inclined. That's where my mind goes. That's what I kind of do all the time, you know what I mean? So I'm always, it's just my natural inclination to puzzle solve this kind of thing, and I believe all that effort that I've put in my entire life constantly has got me to this point of having access to quite a high level now. And I guess I don't, some people put all their effort into other things, material things, a career, blah, 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 blah. I'm just kind of saying, like, a lot of my energy, my entire life, has gone. Little did I know at the time that there was levels, and I was going up levels and stuff, like metaphorically. I now understand that that's what I've been doing my entire life. And someone with neurodivergency could probably completely relate, is that our minds are constantly going, and if we're interested in something, we can't put it down. Like, we just continually play with it. We're continually playing with the puzzle, and because we have felt different from such an early age, most of us are naturally inclined to puzzle out what is going on where do I fit in this, and why are they doing that? And because so many of us also like have this highly sensitive, we feel everything, so at the same time we're like intuiting and so empathetic, telepathic, and so there is a lot of puzzle solving going on in people with neurodivergency and autism type, the spectrum. It's just something that we do 24/7. It's like we can't turn it off type thing. It's like that's what our minds do. We're puzzle solvers, literally problem solvers. Neurodivergent people have the most switched on 10 things at once mind, constantly searching the environment, like scanning the environment energetically, and on all levels we're scanning our environment and interpreting everything constantly, and we're aware of this. At the same time, we're kind of trying to do normal stuff. That's why so many of us fail at the normal stuff, because so much of our brain and energy is going on in the background doing these puzzles, right? Sidetracked there. But anyway, so we're naturally inclined, and I would now realise that I've been solving these consciousness, personal consciousness puzzles, and processing all these energy dynamics and everything my entire life, and so that's why I feel like I'm now talking about it to try and help guide, I don't know, let others know of my experience, because over the last couple of years, when I've received all this information come in, when I've gone up another level, I have so much more of a I can't even describe the level that I've, levels apparently that I've recently gone up, systematically over the past few years. And it is insane the level of information that we have access to when you get to these levels. What we are capable of, what we're connected to, the natural consciousness development of a human, what is possible. So yeah, this is why I'm talking about it, right? Because everyone is capable of doing this, if they want to. Yeah, and I know so many people are struggling out there, and wanting, going through all this counselling and the healing, and learning about all this stuff. So this is why I'm just putting my 2 cents out there and my experience. That was a hell of a sidetrack, but anyway. So yeah, puzzles. So a big one for me, and I talk about this a lot, because you get to this point, and to understand all this stuff, it's metaphors. Everything, to understand on a really simple level, like everything is metaphors at this point, because everyone's experience is kind of different. No one actually knows the exact truth on how to explain, words. Everyone kind of has a different explanation on what they think is going on, and no one way is like, there's no one way. We all have our own kind of thing. It's more of the vibe, right? So everyone's putting a metaphor out there on what is going on. So this is my kind of what has been coming down for me. In order for me to understand my experience, I've been given metaphors in order to understand it more fully myself, and also to guide others, like to provide that metaphor in case it works, you know, that metaphor sinks in with someone else. And I know a lot of neurodivergent people work really well with metaphors. So anyway, so if, you know, the first few levels of our life, a few puzzle levels that we are doing are just, you know, your basic freaking flat puzzle piece on the floor. Like, imagine yourself on the floor putting all these, you know, different puzzle pieces, and as we grow up, you know, these puzzle pieces get a little bit smaller. You know, it goes from when you're a kid, like a 10 piece, and each puzzle piece is this big, like the kids have, and then as a teenager you have like a 500 piece puzzle, and then, you know, like in your 20s you have like a 2,000 piece puzzle, and then in your 30s you have like a 5,000 piece puzzle. And then if you like add another one, if you go on to the next one, if you finish that one and you start the next one, that's like a 10,000 piece puzzle, right? But still flat, or something along those lines. You know what I mean? Like the level, the difficulty level, the minutia, or the dedication to actually complete it. Because, you know, like that, you know, that 5,000 piece puzzle in your 30s, like you've done a few puzzles by then, and you're just like, yeah, I'll slowly put a little piece in here and there. And most people have that puzzle for the rest of their life, right? Maybe just, you know, playing with it, not doing much with it as they get older. But if you actually complete that one and move on to the next one, and do that one, you're pretty much a master puzzle player by that time, if you finish that one in your 30s. And if you move on to the next one, you can pretty much put that one, even though it's like 10,000, like twice as big and the pieces are smaller, it's the same style of puzzle. So you can start putting things together pretty quickly at that stage if you dedicate, you know. So but once that one's done, everything changes on the next one. And this is what I was thinking about today. You know, this is just an example metaphor, right? It's like at a certain point, the next puzzle literally blows your motherfucking like mind world, because that's the kind of universal information puzzle. That's the next dimensional puzzle. That's, so imagine you're going from a flat puzzle piece set, you know, just normal puzzle, this next puzzle that comes down. Like, imagine you're sitting on the floor, you've just completed this beautiful picture puzzle, standard flat, you know, and then all of a sudden all these puzzle pieces come down, and they are like sacred geometry shapes and freaking energy bubbles, and you can see freaking waves, like, or maybe yeah, maybe that's skipping a couple, but like, so imagine you've gone from a flat puzzle piece and all of a sudden then you've got complex shapes, like sacred geometry shapes, I could say, just like cubes and pyramids, and that, the change in your mindset going from a flat 2D picture puzzle of reality, of you, of everything, And then all of a sudden you're working with sacred geometry shapes, which is you, your understanding and your reality shift, your viewpoint on reality then goes into like cubic mindset. Do you see like the shift in viewpoint that kind of would have on your everyday reality, like of everything? So you've gone from 2D to then like 3D, just like that. And you might not think that's like a big thing, but if you've just been looking at everything your whole life yourself in like straight lines, like in 2D mindset, like a flat puzzle piece, and then all of a sudden you've been kind of given this understanding that everything has different sides, angles, dimensions to it, including you, including everyone else, all reality. So this is when you kind of, your mind gets blown and like this information comes in of like your understanding of reality goes to that. Like all of a sudden there's these other sides to things, there's these other dimensions to things. And then, you know, if you finish that one, then you go on to another one, which is like more energy form, more wave form. That there is no separation between anything. So then that's like, and you know, that's like the infinity puzzle. Or something, you know what I mean, like that. Then that's next level, which literally can really do your head in. But then you're looking at everything literally like, you know, as you know how people talk about the quantum. It's like the quantum is this table actually here, like, am I actually solid? You know, everything is energy in motion. We're all made, you know, this table and me, the space here between the phone, you know, there is something there. It doesn't seem like it, but there is. And then so you get onto this puzzle and you start looking at reality in that way and interacting with it and feeling it, because it's not just mental. You're feeling all this at the same time. So you are starting to not only understand and pretty much be taught the entire way through your higher self, guides. I'm completely open-minded to where this information is coming from. I mean, I receive messages from all sorts, but and they're absolutely beautiful, but I reserve the right to say I'm open-minded to it all, because I know there's levels to it, and really we all come from the same place. So it's like, it's all me. It's just the higher levels of me. So it's me helping me in order to understand this level and go further with it. Because that's what really, underneath it all, even if you're not aware of it, that's why we're here, to get back to the highest us, to pass all these levels, you know. So yeah, like, I guess I kind of just wanted to explain that. Yeah, I don't even know where I started from with that, from colour. Yeah, but anyway, So yeah, these different levels, puzzles, dimensions of thought, each step of the way, each level we go up expands our mind further, and each, you know, level that we get to and move on to the next, it's like another expansion of mindset, of viewpoint, and of feeling, because it's you and it's all linked. It's not just understanding, it's not just thought. Because you got to feel into it. You can't pass a level if your whole system hasn't incorporated that puzzle. You know what I mean? So, and you don't have to become a professor of freaking sacred geometry in order to pass the level. It's more of the vibe of it, of where we fit, and the way we look at the world, the way we look at ourselves. You know what I mean? As well, like, you know, if you're doing your, you know, let's say you're on the 5,000 puzzle in your 30s, and you're like, I've got no interest in learning about sacred geometry or mathematics or freaking universal laws or blah, 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 blah. Like, that's just so far above my head. I don't give a shit about that, so fuck it. I'm not going to do it. Like, you don't have to. I didn't. And I still, you know, this way, like, they teach me in the most, I'm going to say, you know, yeah, like universal law 101, like the basics, and I get metaphors that I can understand, like today, the games that we play. And this is the way it's been the entire time, you know, and I get it through the stuff that I like, the things that I understand, that I love. I get information relating to that, metaphors relating to that I can understand, that I can match up with my, you know, desire to actually solve puzzles, like to work this shit out, like what's going on. But I don't have like the natural inclination to freaking get a degree on sacred geometry or mathematics, or, you know, pretty much I've got the attention of a goldfish, pretty much, like with my neurodivergency. Like, I'm a creative, I'm an artist, like, and so I get a lot of my metaphors and everything, messages through music, lyrics. I'm channeling now, like direct messages, which they help me understand things through that. And kind of me talking to my higher self pretty much all day long and thinking about things, relating things. It's just, you know, metaphors and blah, 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 in order to kind of further understand my world and where I'm at now. So there's no need to be like afraid to go further, like with your understanding, like only, you know, like you're not capable of becoming enlightened because you're a particular person. Like, for example, me as being, you know, an airy-fairy artist, like all I want to do is freaking make stuff all day, like be out in the garden, or literally, you know, make jewelry or paint, or you know, write, play with the cards, or, you know, like that sort of stuff. And I've always been like that, and I have managed to achieve, like, going through these levels, you know, to the point where I kind of get it, and now I'm sharing with other people. And this is a big thing, like, that I kind of wanted to get across as well, because there is a lot of language surrounding spirituality and awakening and, you know, raising your frequency and the new earth and all this, like the whole like one-upmanship or you know, judgmental or looking down on it. I'm not saying every person like in the spiritual community is like that, but it's kind of human nature when people are really like academic about something. It can intimidate, you know, knowledgeable, I guess. It can intimidate those that really don't know, and you know that we all have those triggers, the self-doubt and, you know, like I'm not good enough. Even if I still go through this every day, like I'm not good enough to be receiving these messages, like it can't be real. And these are the, you know, the big emotional blocks that we all have, that we constantly have to heal and process as we're going through, as we're solving our puzzle. To be honest, it's the biggest part of our puzzle. Every step of the way that we have to, you know, solve, like process, is this like, who am I? You know, what are my emotional blockages? How am I holding myself back? How am I sabotaging like my growth? What are my triggers? You know, the ego, I'm better than or I'm less than, I'm not even going to try that because, you know, there's no way I'd be able to do it, or I'm scared, you know, I'm too scared like to do that. I don't know, you know, I don't know enough about it, so I'm just going to not even look at it because it's too scary. You know, pretty much scared of growth, scared of the unknown. Fear of the unknown is probably the you know, a massive one that holds so many people back from this kind of development. And, you know, I think there's so many, you know, in the spiritual community, there's so many creatives, neurodivergents that are, you know, really keen on doing these puzzles, going up levels, because you know, there's also this thing with neurodivergency that we don't really fear that much. We are actually really brave individuals of trying something different. We love a challenge. We're the pattern breakers, you know, like we're not going to let someone else tell us that we can't do something. If we want to do it, like we get obsessed with things, like no one can stop us from doing something that we really want to do. And we're also like the freedom fighters. We don't bow down to authority, and we're extremely, you know, most of us are actually really extremely moral, like fair, like things have to be like fair and moral, like you know, why would you be mean to someone? Like why would you do that? Because we are so empathetic. We actually really want to create a safe place, and where we can feel safe, because we're freaking sensitive, emotional creatures. And, you know, so there's all this going on within this neurodivergent community, and I think that's why the spiritual community, the New Earth community, Unity community is literally filled with this type of personality. We're the people that take up the fight, to go that little bit further, to push ourselves, to encourage others. We're really good coaches, actually. Encouraging others. We're probably better at helping others than we are ourselves. You probably find that heaps with the neurodivergent people. Anyway, I'm gone sidetracked again. But yeah, so I guess that's another way of looking at it, and being aware on how to continue your development. And it doesn't mean that you have to go to uni. It doesn't mean that you even have to read a book. It's talking to yourself. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself all day long. Get connected and look into your understanding and start listening to your intuition, because your intuition is guiding you through those puzzles, and developing that and moving forward and getting to know yourself, feel yourself, and becoming more aware of yourself, feelings, mind, higher mind, how all that's connected, body, mind as well, and your impact in your world, other people's impact. Just becoming more aware of your surroundings and just do that more, and keep doing it until these, the muscles you grow of thinking, mind, heart, and body, brain muscles developing and getting to know each other, and you communicating with them and going through your life that way, and gaining more understanding of yourself, your feelings, and allowing your higher mind, connecting, talking to your higher mind about processing things. I mean, this is how we take the steps, we climb the ladder, you know what I mean? And that's how I've found that it's happened. And these brains, our body, they're our energies. Even if you don't know all the terms, the words, the science behind it, our bodies know what to do. Our energies know what to do. So I don't meditate. I literally don't try and move my energy really. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. And I know that if your vibe, heart, mind, what you're doing each day is in alignment, your energies are following suit, and they're doing what they do naturally. You will have your awakening. You don't need to know what a Kundalini rising is. You don't need to understand the science of it. Your body does it. Your body does it. And when it comes down to it, really, this massive energetic shift is self-sovereignty, becoming the true you, feeling the true you, doing the true you. So it's understanding the true you, it's the feeling, it's the speaking, and it's the doing the true you. Makes you a truer you, a higher you, and your energy follows suit and does the rest for you. It does that science magic shit for you, and then you realize that you've gone up another level, and you become one of these kind of next generation humans. You've got your God bod type thing. You're connected. But really, it absolutely comes. The basics of it is becoming self-sovereign, authentic, the true you, following, doing the true you, knowing the true you, doing the true you, speaking the true you, feeling the true you, yeah, knowing, feeling the true you, speaking the true you, and doing the true you. And what follows is you becoming the true you, which is a much higher version than what we're all used to, and it's absolutely magical. And that's what everyone's talking about when they say awakening and blah 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 blah. But basically, when it comes down to it, it's just working on yourself until you get to the core of you, which is what makes you happy. What do you want to do? And doing what's right for you. Authenticity, truth, joy, pleasure, beauty, acting on it, having your boundaries, but being open. You know what I mean? You're standing your ground, but in good energy. You got the yellow vibe going. And this is where you go kind of around and round in you, in order to understand what authenticity, self-sovereignty is. Like, what do I want to do? What am I attracted to? What am I feeling, and all this. This is when you actually really kind of get into all the metaphors and understanding of how every little thing impacts how you feel and how others feel, and you being in your flow. What is your flow? How do you express your truest, most beautifulest, happiest self? Like, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Why aren't you doing it? And solving that puzzle is how you solve the biggest puzzle. We should all be out there, really striving to be on our own path, knowing, finding our happy place. And making the world around us, like our little world, a happier place while we're doing that, in whatever works for us. And that's the really sweet thing, because whatever you're drawn to, like if you're happy doing it, there is a way for you to share that contributes to everyone else, which helps everyone else and helps you further. And then that's the growth, right? Then we're all growing, we're all vibing off each other. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's that one. The games we play. I really love the metaphors, I go through, we play with metaphors constantly. And when shit really, because it's not easy. I mean, life is never piss easy all the time. We've got moments, and sometimes long moments of absolute miracle amazingness, but this growth, it's like growing pains. When you're growing, it's a challenge, right? And it's not always easy. And so, but you kind of get to this point, and you're getting assistance, and it can be made that much more easy and fun. If we follow our natural pleasure principles, inclinations on what we're interested in, and stay open-minded to the lessons we can learn from literally everything. Literally everything. If we're just aware and thinking, playing with life. It is the play. Like if we're playing with life, playing the game, if we're in it, playing the game, it enjoyable, open to enjoying it, even when it's difficult. It becomes kind of not as difficult. If we look at it, that way. I mean, that's what helps me, get through the shittest times. I get an idea put in my head, like a little understanding of what I'm going through, a little metaphor of what I'm going through, or a little joke to lighten the mood. And, I can try and shut it down because I want to be in a shit mood, or I can be open to it and kind of start the understanding, healing, work thinking about it, thinking about why I'm feeling like shit, and process it again in another way and talk it through. It's like having a permanent freaking psychologist, counselors, numerous counselors, friends. You're the higher you that knows you better than anyone. And yeah, sometimes it's tough love. But this is what you go to a counselor or a psychologist. They're gonna freaking tell you how it is. They're gonna challenge you in order to challenge yourself. We've got to challenge ourselves in order to think a little bit harder, go a little bit deeper, push through that, a little bit stronger. We need the desire to push ourselves and think a bit harder, think bigger, think wider, think different dimension, think in as many different dimensions of what's going on as you can. And yeah, keep on working on understanding yourself, and it's getting to know more of you. Just keep wanting to get to know more of you, and keep remember, it's a message to myself here, to try and don't forget that we can try and enjoy it more, to not take it so seriously all the time. Even the healing, the shit moments can be turned into fun moments if we get creative with it. If we allow ourselves to let go of the shitness of it. It's not easy. That's the hardest part, right? We hang on to the shit. We hang on to the shit feelings thinking that it's got to feel like that. But, it really doesn't. It's just all about us being us. Pushing through the hard times and cruising through, yeah, merrily down the stream, and then handling the rapids, and then maybe getting dunked, but then getting back on board your little kayak and rowing merrily again for a little bit, and then you can be cursing that whitewater rafting, or you can be looking, sure, some of it's scary, wet. dirty or whatever, and some of it is really challenging, some of it's a bit scary. You don't know what's around the corner, you got to have your wits about you. Some of it is absolutely, like, if you're paying attention to your environment when you're not in a, you know, in the rapid section, you know, you can actually enjoy those moments. You can enjoy feeling your skills building as you're getting more experience. You can enjoy the beauty of the environment around you, the adventure of it, the grand adventure of it. You know, let's face it, you're on that river. That's life. You're on the river. So, you know, we've got to make it, you know, it enjoyable. So how do you make your freaking river adventure enjoyable? Like, it is what it is. So you know, make up a song to sing as you're freaking rowing. That's what the Vikings did and everything. Yeah, shit, getting that sailor song and the rum song. Let's come right back around, guys. You know, look at the scenery, look for dolphins, have fun in the rapids as much as you can, help those around you, get buff, you know, challenge yourself by actually trying to go a bit faster. And, you know, during those slow movements where you can just lay back and take it all in, enjoy those to the utmost. Yeah. And you know, if you get dunked or whatever, or if you have to, you know, you make it down a waterfall and that was scary as shit, like, give yourself a well done, you know, look after yourself at the same time, like, and thank yourself for getting through it and for trying, and, you know, yeah. And, like, tell yourself how amazing you are for being able to do it. And for getting better at it each time. Like, and that's what life is about. Not holding on to the terror that happened freaking 7 waterfalls ago. Like, not still feeling that, or not, you know, holding on to fear the entire time, or like being angry at the fact that you're on the river in the kayak, that you have to do that. Like, there's no point. Or yelling at the other kayak that's next to you. Like, there's no point doing that either. There's no point holding on to the rock that bumped your kayak freaking 3 bends ago. You gotta be like that, you know, that person in the kayak down the river, and letting it all go. You're in the moment and you're experiencing, you know, that part of the river new, like, constantly. It's constantly changing. And I think that's like, you know, obviously the power of now, like being in the moment, witnessing the beauty, the absolute amazingness of you going on that adventure. Consider it an adventure. You're an adventure. The river's an adventure. Learning the skills of mastering that craft is an adventure and a challenge, and can be fun, you know, or you can make it hell. And And it's all up to you. Absolutely, completely. It's your choice how you look at that river and look at, what you're doing and how long you're going to hold on for the shit that's happened back there, which you're never going to see that part of the river again. But so there's no point holding on to what's there. Like, you've got all this in front of you and around you, and you're the only one that can change your viewpoint. That can, it's your perception of what's happening, of you going down that river, whitewater rafting. Is it an adventure that you're in, like, that you want to do? Like, how are you going to make your adventure, how are you going to make it enjoyable? Because it is your adventure. You can make it yours, the most exciting thing ever. But that's up to you. And I think that's the point of every freaking level that we go through, to be honest. It's like, it's that question each time. It's like, are you going to make this your adventure? Are you going to actually do it? Are you going to discover the adventure in this, next level, like that? And that's finding you. It's finding your magnet. It's finding your passion. It's finding your desire to live. It's finding joy in life. Whether it's, and this is the beauty of life. Like, rapids do come, they go. Some are exciting, some are terrifying, some are really shit. And some sections of the river are absolutely stunning, beautiful, and you're there with friends. You've got some other kayakers around you, and it's amazing. And then there's others that are, in the dark, full of mozzies. You're all alone. You can fucking hear lions growling and all this shit, and it's not so pleasant, but it's not always the same. That river is always moving, and there is, nothing stays the same forever. Unless you're holding on to something that happened way back. You can make it seem like it's the same shit every single day just by your thoughts on the matter. But, if you're actually paying attention, a river is constantly changing. And that is life. And that is your life. And you've got the power. Power to the people. Revolution. Yeah. So hopefully you got something out of that. Authenticity, speak your truth, find your truth, speak your truth, do your truth, and have fun with it. We're all beautiful, and we've all got gifts to share and games to play that we all, play the games that you love to play. That's life. Like, turn your life into your favourite game, your favourite song, your favourite ride at Adventure World. Like, turn it into yours. Like, make your life yours, and that's the fucking point of it. That's the point of it. Have a good one.